Short piece on Amazon's purchase of Whole Foods. What concerns me about this, well, let's talk about it from an economic standpoint. First of all, Amazon is using Whole Foods almost like a guinea pig in the sense that it wants to take the company and reinvent the way we shop for groceries. So they already have an experimental store in Washington state where you could just walk in and point at certain or scan your phone at your items that are they're not stocking the shelves, but they have like one of every item. And at the end, the warehouse machines or people will pull it and then deliver it to your house or put it in your car. So they have cut out a lot. In that respect, they're looking to cut out a lot of the labor that in a labor-intensive business such as supermarket shopping. I mean, if you think about it, now you have to go shopping. You go, you put the stuff in your cart, you choose, you bring it to the checkout counter, it comes out, goes back on a conveyor, it gets scanned, goes back into the bags, has to go back to your car, somebody has to bring the cart back. There is a lot of labor. Shelves have to be stocked, although one can argue that there's a certain tactile feel behind shopping, and more than in books, and to some extent other businesses. Now, and there are people who just want to go, me in particular, go to the supermarket, look at the quality of the stuff, maybe think about it. But for some people, and in this day and age, it's definitely a labor-intensive thing to go shopping, and Amazon is looking to cure that. One of the issues that we have to deal with in economics is that resources do not transfer easily. So what does that mean? That means it's like, think about Easy Pass. Once Easy Pass was invented, that definitely made people's lives easier in terms of checking out when they were driving. And one could argue that the jobs that were lost by toll takers were made up for by people who had to actually deal with the technology of Easy Pass, create the technology, follow people who owed money with Easy Pass. There was the jobs transferred, but resources do not transfer perfectly. So the people, much like the business of the Rust Belt, manufacturing cities that have, like Detroit, that have suffered over the last number of years. Obviously, people did not leave the toll booths and go to work for Easy Pass. Now, the argument could be made in the case of Amazon and in the case of people who work in the retail supermarket industry that if some of those jobs are displaced, it would be somewhat easier since there are other retail jobs available within a geographic area that they can go to work at. As opposed to technology and Easy Pass, where you don't expect somebody to leave a toll booth and start writing technology and move to Silicon Valley or wherever they create the Easy Pass. So that's the law of resource transferability. Resources do not transfer easily. So if people lose jobs in one sector, even though new jobs are created in another sector, doesn't necessarily. It might be overall better for the economy and more efficient for the economy, but it definitely displaces large numbers of people, and there's a cost to that. And I don't think most economists, a lot of them aren't. I don't know how much it's been addressed is the cost of that sort of thing. In terms of Amazon, one thing that it's definitely a positive for the Amazon lover that Amazon is continuing to fight Walmart and get into different businesses and looking at getting into the retail grocery business. But one of the things that continues to concern me about Amazon is that it's in so many portfolios to track markets because it's gotten so big. It's got almost a $475 billion market cap. But what really concerns me most, I'm sorry about that, what really concerns me most about Amazon is its price earnings ratio, which is running now at about 187 times and does not pay a dividend. So what that really means is Amazon is throwing tons of money into development, which makes sense. But on the other hand, it's highly valued compared to its earnings. So let's look at the statistics. And this is, to me, somewhat concerning with a stock that's this popular. You got a $475 billion market cap. You got a trailing price earnings ratio of 187 times. So that's really discounting a ton of growth for Amazon. I mean, you could argue, and one could definitely argue, that Amazon keeps innovating and it's going to bring more earnings in, but it trades at a huge price to book and a huge price earnings ratio. And even if you look at it under any metric, like EBITDA, it's incredibly expensive. EBITDA, it's incredibly expensive on any of these metrics. So if you look at it from that standpoint, you really have to wonder, is this sustainable in the long term? This is actually, I mean, we're talking about only $12 billion of EBITDA on the balance sheet. Now, and $21 billion of cash. Somewhere over here there was a cash number. Here it is, 21 billion. So they're going to spend 14 billion of that cash on Whole Foods, and they definitely are continuing to generate cash. But that number very much concerns me. $12 billion of EBITDA and a market cap of 475 billion. So when you look at Amazon from a price earnings standpoint or from a EBITDA standpoint, it's very richly valued. Now, Jeff Bezos has proven time and time again that he's an innovator and that he can definitely produce growth. And if you believe in growth, then it's not as expensive as one would imagine at a $475 billion market cap. But that concerns me. So you get a little finance and a little economics in this video. Ultimately, will Whole Foods be swallowed up by Amazon? It's trading above its offering price because the feeling is other buyers may walk in and try to thwart this effort. But that's my piece on the Amazon Whole Foods merger. Give you a little economics on resource transferability and give you a little finance on the value of Amazon relative to its price earnings ratio. Thank you.